Well, now we have a 12 News investigation. You put your trust in your insurance company. If tragedy should strike, your house burns down, the expectation is that your claim will get paid. But that's not what happened to Barbara Sloan. She was arrested and charged with arson back in 2009. The Maricopa County attorney dismissed the case, excuse me, and her insurance company, Farmers, later paid her claim. But Sloan sued for bad faith, lost, and had to pay Farmers more than $1.5 million. Now, 3 years later, the judge has overturned that verdict after investigative reporter Wendy Halloran exposed the truth. She joins us now with new details. Wendy?
Our investigation into this case uncovers what appears to be a disturbing practice, that Farmers Insurance would withhold information which could potentially clear a client if it means they wouldn't have to pay up.
Makes me cry. I see my mom crying every day. I see how hurt that she is because she sees me crying.
When Barbara Sloan's home burned down in 2009, lead investigator Captain Sam Richardson called it arson the same day.
I know what my evidence is, and it proves Barbara lit that fire.
Sloan's insurer, Farmers Insurance, hired Robert Laubacher to investigate independently. The day after the fire, Laubacher and Captain Richardson compared notes over the phone. Laubacher didn't agree with Richardson that it was arson. This is Laubacher during a deposition in Sloan's civil case.
I said the fire was undetermined.
2 days after the fire, Laubacher interviewed Barbara Sloan.
I'm sitting here telling you I honestly can't tell you how this fire started. I don't know. So rest easy. There's probably nothing you did. Stuff happens.
Sloan files her insurance claim.
He reassured me. He told me this was an accidental fire, and I believed in him.
In his first report to Farmers, Laubacher said the fire started from an unknown source, no arson or suspicious fire. But Farmers refused to give Sloan and her attorneys that report.
They had a lot of evidence indicating that, that Barbara didn't do anything wrong, that she was innocent. And they worked pretty hard not to produce any of that evidence.
More than a month after the fire, Laubacher meets with Richardson again. According to logs from Farmers Insurance, Laubacher tells Farmers he has issues with Richardson's conclusions. But for some reason, Laubacher decided to change his report. He tells Farmers his report will now say arson is the cause, but he will not name Sloan as the culprit.
But I felt like my insurance company was literally setting me up.
4 hours later, Laubacher calls Farmers back and tells them he strongly feels writing the report as arson will not be wise based on his experience. In the meantime, Sloan was arrested and charged with arson and insurance fraud.
She was indicted. We had a right to rely upon that in denying the claim, which is what we did.
That claim was for more than $500,000.
I don't think anyone that has insurance would want to be treated that way. I mean, it's a very scary concept.
When he was deposed in the case, Laubacher thought about his answers.
Did you feel that you were under any pressure at all from Farmers to revisit your findings?
No.
But that's not what 4 private fire investigators and insurance adjusters and a 5th witness said.
They're saying that you had all these phone contacts with Laubacher.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Phone records indicate multiple calls between Laubacher and the arson squad investigator, as many as 10 in 1 month.
Do you believe Miss Sloan is an arsonist?
Forum Foundation.
Sitting here today.
That's a question I'm not going to answer.
Do you believe Miss Sloan is an arsonist?
I would like to take a break, please.
Not while questions pending.
I think that there was an arson committed at the Sloan residence. Anyone, including Mrs. Sloan or myself, could have committed that arson.
They said I was in cahoots with them, that I was working with the insurance company to get her, and that's not true.
But that's what prosecutors from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office concluded. Captain Richardson and Farmers Insurance had an incestuous relationship. A judge ruled the Phoenix Fire Department and Farmers Insurance were seemingly working hand in hand together.
That evidence would not come in, so the jury never heard it.
They wouldn't hear from Laubacher either. He took the 5th, his right not to incriminate himself, and refused to testify.
On the advice of counsel, I'm going to invoke my 5th Amendment right, sir.
You destroyed my life. Why couldn't you hold out to the peer pressure? Why couldn't you just stand up to Farmers and tell the truth?
We had questions for Robert Laubacher. Hi, Mr. Laubacher. I'm Wendy Halloran with 12 News. I'd like to talk to you.
No, thank you.
We wanted to ask him about his testimony at the first trial and if he knew the judge overturned the verdict against Sloan. Mr. Laubacher, why did you take the fifth in Barbara Sloan's civil trial? Mr. Laubacher, are you aware that the judge overturned the judgment against her? Sir, we'd like to talk to you and get your side of the story. The International Association of Arson Investigators found evidence of unethical conduct and revoked Robert Laubacher's fire certification after he took the fifth. He remains a private investigator licensed by DPS. The Phoenix Fire Department declined to comment. Farmers Insurance declined to provide anyone to speak on camera, but emailed this brief statement. We thank you for offering us the opportunity to provide input. However, as this matter is still in litigation, we are unable to provide comment. Wendy Halloran, 12 News.